Okay, so while I'm getting the textbook on my phone open, like I said, I'm just gonna scroll through the textbook and highlight a few things I think might be important for tomorrow. Obviously, I can't really remember what is inside, but I'm just gonna give you a breakdown or what I think is very important for tomorrow to know and to have under the knees. Okay, so let me quickly just check. Theory LLB. Okay, so it should be this one. Okay, perfect. Okay, are we ready? Okay,
Yes, sir.
so obviously, first thing I said, we are going to be having networks, e-communication, social implications, and lastly, computer management. Okay, so we're going to start off with networks. So obviously, first thing, what do you guys think is a network again?
Like a group of computers that is connected by communication media, something like that.
Yes, okay, so basically what you must just remember there, it's two or more devices that are connected via communication media, and that allows for the devices to communicate with each other. Okay. Um, then with networks, we've got a few advantages. What is the advantages of a network?
Quick communication, accessing resources, and transferring files.
Okay, so yes, it's a very big list that you can basically go through, but yeah, it's accessing of resources or sharing of resources. It is allowing for communication. We can have leisure, playing some games, all of those things. Basically, advantages of networks. Okay, a few disadvantages of networks. What is the disadvantage of having a network?
It exposes you to online crimes like what identity theft and credit card phishing.
Yes, so we can have internet crimes, so stolen identity, spoofing, phishing attacks. It can even lead to, like you said, credit card fraud, etc., etc., cyberbullying, all those things of a network. If we think of just a like a network inside of a building, like a LAN, what can be a disadvantage there is viruses can spread easily. Okay, just jump over the network to another computer and then you've got a spread. Okay, this networks, there is two ways or two main categories of connection medium. What is that again? Two main
Wired
categories.
and wireless.
Wireless.
Yes, so we've got these two umbrellas. We've got wired and wireless. Okay, under wired, there is two main types of wired ones we use, and that will be referred to as.
Unshielded twisted pair and fiber optic.
Yes, so a UTP cable or unshielded twisted pair, as well as fiber optic. Okay, so give me a few differences of UTP and fiber.
Like UTP uses electricity to send signals from
Yes.
the receiver to the sender, and fiber optic uses light to send signals from the sender to the receiver.
Okay, great. That's one. Can someone else give me another one? I want a difference between UTP and fiber. So we said that one sends UTP sends the electricity across, and fiber sends light pulses. Give me another difference.
The UTP can get, like along the way, it can be broken, and then you can disrupt the signal and steal information. And fiber optics, you can't steal information. As soon as it's broken, it stops working.
Okay, cool. Yes. So security, UTP has very low security, whereas fiber has much better security. Okay, then you can say that UTP cable has attenuation. So that is, remember, it can only travel for like 100 meters, then you have to boost it. Whereas fiber optic can go for hundreds of kilometers. UTP is fairly easy and cheap to install, whereas fiber you normally need someone very experienced, and it can become very costly to install fiber optic cables. Okay, so I think that's good. Okay, client server, this part here. We get two types. Well, I think there's actually three, but I'm just going to focus on these two. We get a client server and a peer-to-peer network. Okay, what is the function of a client server and a peer-to-peer network? So what is that? Can we still remember? Okay, so in a client server network, we've got the one server that basically all the other nodes or devices connect to, and with our server it basically controls the security of the network. So it's gonna basically say, okay, that computer is only allowed to do this and this and this, that computer allowed to do this and this and this, etc, etc. Whereas a peer-to-peer network is there's no server, one device gets directly connected to another device, and that means that all the devices on the network has the same rights and privileges. Okay. What else is there? I think that should be all for okay, for networks, just know what a PAN is, a LAN, the WAN, GAN, and yes, that's all. Okay, so just read through all of those things, make sure you know what it is. Question 2 was handled on ecommunication. Okay, let's go to ecommunication. Okay, so a few things we need to know here is, remember all of these things. Okay, so what is email? How do we, or yes, what is email and what do we use email for? Crick, crick.
So,
What is, so I said email. What is email and what do we use email for?
Like
for e-communication.
communication to potential clients and sending messages to different people simultaneously.
Okay, cool. So that sounds good. Okay, so it's just a form of an internet communication that basically allows you to send messages and attachments via files to multiple persons or just individuals for that matter, and it is nice because email has literally a record of what you sent to who and when you sent it. Okay. Things we also need to know here is, like what type of apps can we use to work with this e-communication? So what apps do you know that uses e-communication?
WhatsApp.
Yeah, so anything we basically need or use on our phone, so WhatsApp, Skype, we can use Facebook Messenger, Gmail, all of these nice things, basically apps that facilitate e-communication. Okay. What else? Email. All these protocols. So must know what FTP or file transfer protocol is. So remember what protocol is again. It is a set of rules. Okay, instant messaging. What is instant messaging, or IM is?
A type of online chat that allows you to send and receive messages in real time.
Yes. Okay, so whenever you send a message, it gets delivered instantaneously. So it basically is pushed to the other user, and they can reply in real time. Okay. What else is here? VoIP. Oh, chat rooms also. but VoIP, voice over internet protocol, so that is just basically the set of rules that allow you to make voice calls over the internet or the internet protocol. Okay. Yeah, what can influence your VoIP calls? So that will be the type of internet connection you have. So if it is weak, then you may experience lag or glitches or delays. So you need a fast and stable internet connection to make VoIP calls. Video calls, okay, obviously what a video call is, it's making a call to another person but you can see their faces. Then blogs. A blog is nice. What is a blog again? So it is short diary entries on an online platform. Yes, just to basically give an explanation or give a update on your life, etc, etc, etc. Then we get a vlog. What is that again? It is a video blog. And what a video blog is, it's exactly the same thing as a blog, short web blogs, but what we use it for is actually to have videos instead of just text. So instead of writing a paragraph, oh, today I did this and this and this, you take a video of yourself and you post it online of whatever you did. Okay. Webinars, you must know what webinars is. Webinars, online seminars, so it's basically a normal seminar but online. So when we use Zoom and yeah, got a bit nauseous there. Zoom ish. Kidding. If we use all those nice apps. What else is there? Email as part as ecommunication. Okay, so what can we say here? Components of an email address. I think that is very important. Please know that parts. So all the stuff before the ad, after the ad, all that nice details. Where was I?
So,
Yes.
What is PCC again?
BCC stands for a blind carbon copy. So a carbon copy is when you basically add multiple recipients, so that if you send the email, the user can see that, oh, okay, so this email was sent to all of these other people as well. Okay, but if you have a BCC, that means a blind carbon copy. What that basically stands for is, or what it means is, you can add users into the BCC area, but the recipient of the original email cannot see who it was sent to. So it's basically it was sent to in the secret.
Yes,
It was just hidden. Okay, so you must know basically an email address and what all the parts are. You must know the first part is the username, then you have the separator, then you've got the domain name, then the domain extension, so what type of company it is, and then lastly you have the location. ISP and web based. You must know ISP and web based. Yeah, just know the differences between them. There's a nice table here for you that you can go through on page 120. Please know the differences. So maybe just main difference is for an ISP one is you need a dedicated software like Microsoft Outlook to access your emails, whereas web-based all you need is a browser. You can log in and you can view your emails. Okay, what else is here? Email addresses. Okay, yes, so email addresses, you must know what the two is. The CC, which I just explained, the carbon copy, the blind carbon copy, subjects and attachments. You must know all of those parts. How to use email address, email best practices. So that is netiquette, and where netiquette comes into play. So don't disrespect others on the internet. Speak to someone as how you would speak to them in real life. Do not use emojis and slang when talking to your boss, etc, etc. So bit of netiquette. Okay, then obviously advantages and disadvantages of email you must know a bit. So like we said in the beginning, advantages of email is you can provide a record. It's very inexpensive to send and receive emails, and you can use it as long as you've got internet connection in the entire world, wherever you want to go. It's available. Disadvantages is sometimes that emails, the attachments inside emails can have viruses, as well as you can get spammed. Sorry, via emails. Yeah. Then, oh, that's all. Okay, great stuff. Then social implications. So you must know what ergonomics is. What is ergonomics again? Oi. So ergonomics is the study or science of how humans interact with man-made objects. Then you basically create objects that has a lower risk of discomfort and injuries, etc. Okay, it can even increase productivity. Okay, so please know what ergonomics are. Um, Ergonomic guidelines, so you must know these. Sit up straight with your back perpendicular to the ground. Forearms must be at the same height as your mouse and keyboard. Feet should be placed firmly on the ground or on a footrest, not underneath another leg. Your monitor should be tilted to reduce glare, etc. Okay. What else is there? Green computing. You must know what green computing is. So green computing, we know the environmentally responsible and eco-friendly use of computers and their resources. So you must basically know just a few stuff like use biodegradable materials. If you are using a device, try to use a device with lower power consumption devices like LED screens and solid state hard drives, etc. Switch the computer off when you are not using it. Okay, then the health issues. Please know the health issues like back and neck pain, hand or arm pain, eye strain, obesity, computer stress, and if you use computers too much, you get repetitive strain injury and carpal tunnel syndrome. So just scan through those for me as well. What is that done? Ah, fantastic. Then the last part, computer management. Okay, so computer management, what do I think here is important? So obviously you can, and you should have actually studied the weekend, but you can just go through, or you must know the purposes of these stuff, managing the files. I would say maybe use these on page 134. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 key points. I think if you study that, that should be good. Let me just quickly check. Yes. Okay, so disk cleanup. Go through disk cleanup. So what is disk cleanup? It is basically if you free up unnecessary used space on your computing device. So it's just cleaning up temporary folders that you know not really actually need. Scheduling and updating. So what is scheduling? It is if you set a task at a specific time, your computer will automatically do it, and then you get updating. What is updating? It is basically just going to a newer version of software. And why would we want to update? You can give me 2 reasons why we need to update our software.
Improves your system performance.
Okay, so
And
yes.
yes, it's okay.
No, give me one more.
And it improves the security of your system.
Okay, so it can improve security, it can improve functionality.
So what if you say like there are less bugs?
It can?
What if you say there are like less bugs?
Yes, so the two most important ones we always go for is it fixes bugs and it increases functionality or gives new features. Okay, but yeah, that's good. Then we get archiving and backing up. So what archiving is if you have all of this data you don't really use every single day, you can basically just shrink it down and so just zip it or something, compress it, and then you basically just store it for later use. And backing up is basically almost the same, but you're just making copies or duplicates of data. So, and then you store it either like off-site or on the cloud, and then if something were to happen to your device you can just get your backup from the internet or from your other backed up location. Compression and decompression, please know what that is. So if you want to compress files, that is just basically, it is just a mathematical equation to decrease the amount of disk space used by big files, and decompression is just basically exactly the opposite of compress. So it's again just a formula that basically resizes it and gets everything back to normal again so that you can use it. Security features, okay, these I think, yeah, that is very important. So a firewall is basically a network utility that prevents unauthorized network connections to and from your computer. So if you were thinking of like the school, do you guys have security guards at the school, at the entrance?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, so basically your security guards at school would be like the firewall. They basically make sure if someone stops there and pulls out a handgun, they would try to deny access to them. Okay, so why? It basically can see, uh-oh, yes, danger that wants to enter the school, so no, you can't have access, they won't open the gate for them. Okay, if one of you tries to, let's say 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, you say, oh no, I'm sick of school, I want to go home, so now you go up to the front gate, you want to walk out, is the security guard gonna open the gate for you?
If you point a gun at him, yes.
Okay, in normal circumstances, if you just want to walk out?
No, no,
Yeah,
sir.
no, sir.
No, so because you do not have access or you are unauthorized to leave. So that is basically what the firewall is. It basically just blocks unauthorized access to and from your computer or network communication. Okay, then you have an antivirus. Okay, so what is an antivirus? It is basically software that is designed to prevent, search and detect malicious software, and then it can either remove it, it can quarantine it, or you can just allow the software. Okay, so what the virus basically, the antivirus is let's say for some reason someone actually just got into the school without authorized access, then basically you have other security guards that is not at the gate but that is patrolling the corridors, so they can then basically see, uh-oh, this guy's not supposed to be here, please get out of the school. Okay, or if you walk around without a permission card in school and you're supposed to be in class, they basically walk, they see you, they ask you, where should you be? No, you don't have an excuse, then they just take you to the principal. Okay, so that is basically antivirus. So it's the software in or on the computer that searches the computer for these malicious software and tries to prevent and search it. And how it does that is basically it has a database, a virus database, that it basically compares files and folders to. Okay. Next up is spyware. So how you can, what spyware is, it is software that is designed to spy on you. So that can be stuff like keyloggers or other malicious software, and basically how we can block that is with anti-spyware software. Okay, then we have adware. What is adware? It is basically this annoying software that basically sends ads everywhere to your computer, so you just get bombarded with ads, and then basically what can you do with that is you can just install some anti-adware software, or basically just go block it or uninstall the software that is causing all of these problems. Okay, so then 6, I'm speaking about uninstalling. So you can actually install and uninstall software. So basically, installing means to add the software to your device, and then uninstalling is to go remove it from your device. Okay. Then, is this the last one? Yes, I think the last important one here to know is defragmentation. Okay, so before you know what defragmentation is, you need to know what disk fragmentation is. So remember what I said is you on your hard drive of your device, all your files is saved nicely onto your hard drive. But what happens is the more you use it, and over time files gets deleted and then new stuff gets added and so forth and so forth. So at the end, one file can actually be split up into a few different pieces to basically if it finds, let's say there is 3 spaces on the hard drive but it's scattered out, and you have a 15 gig game you want to install, then in the first slot it's gonna save like 5 gigs of data, then it's gonna search for another spot, add another 5 gig, search for the last one, and then add it. So that means basically the data and stuff is basically scattered all over your hard drive. So what happens is if your computer wants to access a file or an application, it has to search for all the parts first, and then it can compile and run. So that is disk fragmentation. So if you think of a hand grenade, another word is a frag grenade. So what happens is if you throw that grenade, it's going to explode, and then tiny little pieces get shot everywhere. So it's get fragmented. Okay, that's where it gets the name from. So that is basically disk fragmentation. You've got this one file that gets split up into multiple different parts, okay, all over the hard drive. That is disk fragmentation. Now if you want to know what disk defragmentation is, what do you think will that be? If I said fragmentation is files that get split up into different parts, so what is disk defragmentation?
Orders all the things back to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, so D means to undo. So it basically just brings all the pieces of all the files together so that everything is in nice order again. Okay, so what does that mean? That means if you want to access a file or a game or an application, all the files are grouped together. All the information is in one place. So it's gonna improve your speed. Okay, and I think that is it. Yeah, let me quickly just check here. Yeah, I think that is it, people.
So how much is the test going to be? 50?
It's going to be out of 50, yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the rest of the evening to please go study. And yeah, so if you listen now, you should be quite good. I can't really remember what's in the test, but if you listen to what I've said this 35 minutes, you should be good. Okay, I'm also gonna upload this recording onto YouTube.